Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video we'll be looking at the find function in Excel. So in the usual fashion we'll step through the function, all its various parts, and then work through an example within the Excel application. Okay, so the find function. The purpose of the function is to get the location of text from within a string. It's made up of three parts. The first part is our find text, so this is the text we wish to find. The second is within text, so the text to search within. So to summarize these 2 points really here is we're going to firstly enter some text that we want to search for, and the second part is a reference or another text string that we want to search for our find text. And the third point we have here is the start number. So this is optional. It's the starting position in the text to search, and the default value is number 1 if we don't enter a value. So the reason you might want to change this is, again, many scenarios. You could want to start at the beginning, the middle, or a later point or a different point in your text string. A real basic example that comes to mind: if for some reason you're wanting to find where a comma appears within the within text, but again, for whatever reason, that your within text starts on every occasion with a comma. You wouldn't maybe want to find that very first comma, but you might want to find the next comma that appears in that string. So if you entered your starting position is number 1, obviously it's going to keep giving you the result of number 1 because that's where a comma appears. But obviously if you entered the position number 2, then obviously your search will begin from position number 2 of the within text, and therefore missing out that first comma that you know is always going to appear and that you don't want to count. Hopefully that wasn't a confusing scenario. This will make more sense. Maybe it's fairly basic terms is to always just use the number 1 as our default. We will be using that in this example. We will be doing some later videos in which we will be using the find function on a bit more advanced or intermediate level, in which we will get into why, or more scenarios where that start number being different is of great use. But I guess just to recap on start number, the default value is the number 1, and for this demonstration we'll be using number 1 as the starting point of our search. And lastly, we've got the find function in its entirety at the bottom there. So you can see the 3 parts. So we've got the find text, so the text we want to look for, within text, which is the text we want to search from within, and lastly, what the start number, so that's our start position to start searching from in the within text. And as we just now covered quite extensively, the default for start number is number 1, and that is our advisory to use number 1, that value of number 1 to start off with. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll now jump over to Excel and work through some examples. Okay, so here we are in Excel to go through an example of how the find function works. So what we've got is in column A, we've put down the value that we want to find, or the text that we wish to find, with a couple of different examples. We've got some text that we want to be searched. So we want to obviously search for these values in column A, in those values for column B. And in column C, we've just visualized the starting position from which we want to start our search from, just to help elaborate on the points we started to discuss in terms of the start position and how that defaults to the value of 1. Okay, so for our first one here, we can just start entering our find function to show the different results that we get. So we want to look for the J in the name James. So to do that, we do equals and our find formula and open brackets. So simply we want to find this J, and we want to find it in this text string here in column B. So we want to know where it starts from, or where the position of that J is another way to put it. Because in this example we are not going to put a starting position, as you can see in column C, that field is greyed out, and as it's an optional, we don't actually need to do it in the formula. So all we need to do in the find function or formula for this example is A2, B2. So to find the value in A2 in the cell reference of B2. And if you hit enter, you can see we get the result of 1, so number 1. And that is because, well, what's going to happen is because we haven't entered a value here to start position, it's automatically going to default to the number 1, so it will start from the position number 1 in the text string of James. And as you know, or as we can see, the J is indeed the first in the first position of that string James. So there's obviously a total of 5 positions in the name James, James, or 5, and obviously the J is in that first position. Okay, so for these next examples, we will be putting the value of 1 in here, just to show you, obviously, and get you used to that, the function in its entirety with all 3 parts. So for this one, we now want to find the A in James. So the formula is exactly the same. So we just do enter find, open our brackets. We want to find the letter of A in the text string of James, what is in the cell reference B3, comma, and this time we're going to enter our position, so the number 1. So we want to start our search from position number 1 in our text string. Hit enter. And we can see we've now got the value of 2. And the reason we've got value of 2 is because A is in the second position of our text string of James. For our next, and that'd be exactly the same scenario. So if we changed our A here to M, our formula update, and you can see our result is now the number 3. If, again, another extreme, if we put the letter S, it will now give us the position of 5 because it's in that 5th position there. So also what we can do when we're doing our search, we're not limited to just single letters. We can also do obviously an actual text string, and that's what we're going to do in this one. So we'll just enter our formula one more time, or another time, find, open brackets, and this time we want to find the text string ES. Obviously in our same text string, but this time in row 4, and once again from position number 1. So let's hit enter, and we can see we've got the value of 4. So this works exactly the same as if we just wanted to search for the letter of E being in the 4th position. But because we can see here that the string of ES, again, like I said, the letter E on its own is in position, or starts in position number 4 of our string here. Okay, so what we also have is a last example here. And what we're going to do this time is look for the word the, so THE, in this sentence here, or text string of the tree in the field. The reason we bring this example in is because the find function is case sensitive. So as you'll see, and we enter our formula of find, open brackets, and we now search for the lowercase word of the into our text string, and then obviously our position starting from number 1 and close brackets. You can see it's found in position number 13. So this helps us with a couple of things. So if there's a space or spaces present in your text string, then that's going to count those as characters. And we can see the lowercase the is in the 13th position. So we can count that with 1, 2, 3, space 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, space 9, 10, 11, space 12, and then the T of the being in position number 13. So that's just one to be wary of, because if we were to change this to our uppercase T here, then again our formula will change, or our result will change, so I say, to the position number 1, because now it's obviously different, so it's actually starting position number 1 rather than later on in the formula. Okay, so we hope that was once again a good video and you were able to get a lot from that and learn the find function, or if you have been exposed to it before, you know a little bit more about it. If you haven't done already, as we always do say at the end of our videos, please do subscribe to this channel. We've got lots of videos coming out, kind of on a daily basis nearly, but at least 4 times a week. And we've got some great content coming up soon. So please do subscribe and hit that bell button to make sure you're notified of when we have our new videos coming up. We also do have a website and Facebook page, so links to those are in the description below. And feel free to reach out to us by one of those means, or if you have any questions at all, an alternative option is to just drop us a comment underneath this video, and we will get back to you with any questions or thoughts you have as soon as we can. If we don't speak to you before, we will see you in the next video, and thank you very much.